regardless of how much we practice, how much we drill, we're still going to have bad serves. We need to be able to diagnose why a serve didn't go where we wanted it to. Why was that a bad serve? Why did it go in the net? Why did it go long? Why did it go wide? If we can do that real time during a game, then we have a chance to fix or correct that very next serve. Today I'm going to talk about how to diagnose why that serve didn't go where we wanted it to go. First thing we'll try and diagnose is ball went too far left or too far right. Why? Two big reasons, probably. First one I'll talk about is as we contacted that ball, as we were swinging and hitting this ball, our orientation on our paddle wasn't square, it wasn't flush to the back of that ball. So if my paddle angle was off a little bit this way or that way, what that results is, and I'll be right here. So if I'm hitting this ball and my paddle's not square to the back of the ball and my paddle angle is off a little bit left or right, that ball goes a little bit left or right. How we diagnose that is we need to learn what it feels like when we hit this ball well. So if I'm serving and I hit this ball and I hit it with my paddle square to the back of the ball, it has a certain feeling to it. And we need to understand what that is, again, through drilling and practice. And so as I'm serving and I hit this ball, I go, oh, that didn't feel right. I don't think I was square to the back of the ball. So we need to be able to understand what that feels like. Otherwise, we're not going to be able to diagnose and fix that next time we serve. Second reason about maybe why a ball goes left or right of where I wanted it to go was my follow through. And was my follow through good enough? As I serve this ball, and I've talked about after I hit that ball and the ball goes, I want my paddle to keep going in the same direction as long as I can before my shoulder pulls it away up and over, in my case, my left shoulder. So I hit this ball, ball takes off. I want my paddle to continue in that direction for as long as I can, and that will help my targeting. So if my serve goes a little bit left or right, then I want to think back and go, where did my paddle go after I contacted that ball? Did my paddle go in that same direction, off to the left or off to the right? And is that the thing I need to fix? And again, I need to understand what that feels like when I swing and hit this ball and my paddle continues on. So I'm going corner to corner in general, out here swinging to that corner. Did my paddle continue on toward that corner after I contacted that ball, after I hit that serve or not? And I need to know what that feels like. And I can feel like, oh, my paddle kind of went off left or right. And that's the thing I need to fix on the next serve. Let's think about for a minute and try to diagnose why balls go into the net. And I've talked about this in the other videos about there's an ideal hitting point out here with this ball that if I contact this ball in that spot, it will stay low over the net. And one reason it can go into the net is I wasn't OCD enough. I wasn't concentrated enough on where I released this ball relative to where I was going to hit it. So if this is my ideal contact point, but I actually, for this serve, had this ball a little bit further back, and a little bit further back is an inch or two, so very minute changes there. I don't get enough lift, this ball doesn't go up and over the net. So if I'm serving, my ball goes into the net, I'm trying to diagnose why. This is probably the most common reason is I didn't have the ball where I needed it to be. It was too far back. It was too far back toward my back foot. I didn't get enough lift, and so my diagnosis would be, I think I didn't release the ball in the right spot. Next serve, I need to pay more attention to. I need to be more OCD about where I'm releasing this ball so I can get enough lift and get that serve up and over the net. Second reason that this ball may be going into the net is I didn't stay down on this ball. Meaning that as I served this ball and I started to look up, now the relationship to where that ball is to where my paddle sweet spot is has changed, and I don't hit that ball as well. So it may come off one of the side edges, or more commonly, it may come up more toward the butt or near the handle of this, and now I didn't get enough good contact out of that sweet spot, and it doesn't have the velocity to get up to the net and up and over. So if I don't stay down on this ball, if I'm not disciplined enough to be down here all the way through contact so I can hit this ball well, and I start looking up too soon, then that changes the relationship between this ball and the sweet spot of that paddle. It may cause it to lose speed and or lift and never go over that net. Again, I need to be able to feel what that feels like. And as I hit this ball, go, that didn't feel right. It doesn't feel like I contacted that ball well. And then I think back about what did I do differently this time that caused that ball contact not to feel so well. The other thing is I need to be able to hear how good or how bad that sound was when I hit that serve. And when you hit a good serve, it has a certain sound. It came off the sweet spot of the paddle well. It has this good solid sound, whatever that is for your paddle, and that changes for different paddles. So as I'm hitting this and the ball goes into the net, I go, oh, that didn't sound good at all. Even if it went over, I go, I got lucky that time because I didn't hit the ball well. I could tell from the sound, I could tell from the feeling, the sensation in my hand, I didn't hit that ball well. So even if it went in, I'm going, I got lucky on that one. I need to pay more attention. I need to be more disciplined the next time I serve this ball and have it feel like it needs to feel and sound like it needs to sound. Next thing to diagnose is that ball went long. It was just too high up and over the net, going back to that ideal contact point. So the flip side of me dumping this ball in the net and this ball was too far back to my back foot when I released it. If I'm hitting long, it's likely not that I'm hitting too hard, it's that this ball's too far in front. Further and further out in front this ball is that I'm hitting it, the more and more lift it gets. And again, it's only a matter of an inch or two to be too far out in front. So if I'm hitting this ball and it's going along, then I'm going, I didn't drop the ball where I needed to drop it to have it come off of the sweet spot well, and it was likely too far out in front. If I'm playing and my serves are going along, it's likely not that you're hitting too hard. You're not being disciplined enough to where to put the ball where it needs to be when you let it go. The last category I'll talk about why the serve commonly goes wrong is we're hurrying. We're not taking our time and going through the things that we would normally go through to hit a serve. We're just kind of casual. We're in the motion. We get a ball, we look over there and we hit the serve without being disciplined enough to think through all those things and go through the motions that we need to go through. So I talked about the physical process routine, the mental routine that we need to go through before every serve. We need to stay down, hit that ball well, and that's really what this whole series is about, is all of the little components that go into having that serve go well across the net. If we're too casual, or if we're in too big of a hurry, we just grab the ball, look, call the score, and hit it without being disciplined enough to go through all of those thought processes and all of those body mechanics, then the serve's not going to be as consistent. I play with some people here who I think could have a really good serve, but they're just not disciplined. They get up and I think the philosophy is just get the ball in and we're going to play and go on from there. And if that's your philosophy, that's fine. That's always what it was before. You can't score if you don't get the serve in. But if you want to have a powerful serve and use your serve as a weapon, you need to treat it that way and give it its due. Focus on the serve and not be hurried and just try and get this ball in play and get started. If we're playing one day and we're having a bad serving day, and we all do at some point, then if we can start to diagnose why things are going bad, then we have a chance to fix that real time during the game on the very next serve. If we don't understand how to diagnose what just happened, then we're likely not going to be able to fix this. If you're still having a bad serving day and it's like, I still can't work this out, my suggestion is go back to the basics, reboot a little bit your brain, and go, all right, I'm going to let go all of my bad serves that I've had to this point. I'm going to go back to the fundamentals. What do I need to do? I need to be down here focused. I need to be relaxed. And maybe take a little bit of speed off of some of those balls, although there is a philosophy that if you will hit harder, you'll get yourself out of that bad streak a little bit quicker. And hitting softer can be more frustrating because sometimes things get even worse. And now you're going, I'm trying to ease up and now it's getting even worse than it was before. I don't know what to do. So my suggestion would be focus on the fundamentals, try and relax and breathe, take a little bit more time, and just try and get more serves in, what you're probably already trying to do. But focus on those fundamentals, and that will help you get out of that slump, whatever that is.